Hi everyone, my name is Akshat Mittal and I am an IRA recipient for the class of 23-24. I got really passionate about how we can solve normal university student problems using consumer-facing apps. So anything that's to do with creating a network of students and launching it at different universities, I got really keen about exploring. And my mentor was the great Venki Harinarayan. Really helpful. And yeah, thank you so much for him and this opportunity. So first, I will talk about FavorX, which was the first initiative that I worked on, first research project for fall quarter. And I was very keen on understanding how I could create a decentralized kindness economy and incentivize good behavior using tokens. So I wanted to eliminate the use of real currency for day-to-day favors like, can you please get me a cup of coffee or can you please help me move my couch, especially in university settings. And the idea came from the fact that there is no central clearinghouse in hyper-local communities for helping each other out. So if I move to a new neighborhood, even I don't have any way to know who can help me move in, or who can I get a uh, I don't know bucket of hot water from when my water is not working. So the initial motivation was to create a closer atomic network and create a string of these atomic networks so that we can introduce a new currency that would work in this kindness world. For this, I researched a lot about tokenomics and how we can create a system which had enough liquidity but would also maintain the value of each favor token. And initially thought about creating the app, ended up doing it and testing it out at UCLA. The result, however, was a bit different than what we had expected. And after launching, we realized that um, it would need a lot of demand and supply calibration to sustain that atomic network. So we switched to a new project for winter quarter. Talking about FavorX, again, just wanted to reiterate the problem. Very high prices for basic services like food delivery, homework help, moving in, moving out help, a lot of other things as well. For students, time is money. So if I could save up on 40 minutes by, walking to Kirkhoff from my apartment and coming back just for a cup of coffee, I would love to do that. But I also wouldn't want to spend extra dollars and would love to spend any arbitrary tokens so that I could return the favor. So that was also one of the main motivations. Um, and also another issue was that there is no community, no sense of community among students. So even though people are not able to quantify favors, we wanted to put some arbitrary valuation to their efforts. So we wanted to create the world's largest favor exchange community built on reciprocity, and we wanted to make gratitude the new currency there. For this, we created a simple app in which a favor taker, which is, let's say, I wanted to get a favor of a cup of coffee, I could easily post a favor and set a token price for it, saying, hey, can I please get a cold brew from Kurkov? And I'm willing to pay 8 favor tokens for.
Let me refresh.
Hi, everyone. Return the favor. So 8 favor taker, which is, let's say, I wanted to get a favor of a cup of coffee. I could easily post a favor and set a token price for it, saying, hey, can I please get a cold brew from Kurkov? And I'm willing to pay 8 favor tokens for this delivery service. And then on the other hand, any favor giver, any other participant on this app could accept the favor and do it for me and would receive those 8 favor tokens, which he can then use for his own favors. That was the basic reciprocity principle that we wanted to inculcate in this. We created a very preliminary version of this app to test it out, and you could easily, after logging in, you could easily post a favor, put your location and desired favor tokens. And on the favor giver side, for any other user, they could look at all the posted favors. They can, click on a favor to look at more details, accept the favor and deliver it and get the tokens in return. So after FavorX, I decided to pivot to Thrive. Another, I think, good decision because FavorX required a demand and supply balance that was very difficult to achieve at UCLA and some other colleges. We tried at Claremont McKenna cluster as well. So what Thrive is another consumer-facing app to help students. We were helping restaurants on subscription services geared towards rewarding loyal students, such as those who go to Chipotle 10 times a month, or those who go to Starbucks 5 times a month, those who go to Subway 10 times a month, people like that. So we realized that the current loyalty programs weren't really profitable for the restaurant. And even for me as the customer, I would always forget which loyalty program was running on which restaurant. And subscriptions had disrupted all other industries. We have SaaS, we have all different kinds of industries that have subscriptions, but food tech was one place where subscriptions were still missing. So we started studying about successful gift card and subscription models by players like Starbucks, Panera Bread, and a lot of others. And we started onboarding restaurants to kind of get their thoughts on how we could help them as students to first create infrastructure to help them launch subscription programs for themselves. And second, do marketing at UCLA and other colleges to get a good user base or a good subscriber base for this new scheme that they were about to launch. So on that, we've onboarded quite a few restaurants. We've onboarded Subway, we've onboarded Dip and Mix, we've onboarded Matcha Village in Sawtelle, and a few other restaurants to begin with. And we're still onboarding more to get a wider range of food varieties on this app. And then we're in the process of integrating with Apple Wallet for ease of transaction and POS integrations. So, integrating with Square, Clover, and all of these other sales merchants at these restaurants. So for Thrive, as I explained a little bit earlier, the initial problems the restaurants faced were there was very low customer loyalty, which led to lower profits and less innovation. There was inaccuracy in sales and stock predictability. So when you can't predict how many people are going to come in this month, you can't predict how much raw materials to order. There's also increase in QSR competition. So QSR in the sense that places like Chipotle and Subway, more and more of these restaurants were popping up. So especially on weekdays, there was huge competition in them. And then there was definitely a huge lack of data analytics for these restaurants to figure out, hey, maybe my customers are liking a pumpkin spice latte more than a vanilla latte, so maybe I should invest more on that. They were not able to do personalized product launches and all of those things. So that was also one of the major issues that these restaurants faced. So the 3 C's is how we call it at Thrive. That's the mantra that we run on. First, we want to tackle cost. How can we help our customers, which is the students, save up on their costs for going to the restaurant? So that is essentially a student would commit to a certain number of meals per month at a restaurant like Subway. So let's say I can go to Subway and commit to 10 meals a month and get a 40% discount in return. So Subway would get a regular stream of income, extra profits through breakage, and a loyal customer stream. And the customer, me, would get a huge discount on my favorite food. Second was convenience. So in this, we wanted customers not to feel obliged to stick to one particular restaurant. So as a student, I go to Subway, I go to Starbucks, I go to thousands of other restaurants, right? I should have the power to pick and choose my custom basket of subscriptions. So I wanted to have the ability to, have 4 coffees from Starbucks, 5 sandwiches from Subway, 3 desserts from Dip and Mix, and create that as a personalized subscription program. So essentially, we wanted to have that ability. We're working on that right now. And also talking to restaurants about special subscriber order zones to drive footfall there. We're also going to be partnering with delivery services. Tuffle recently closed, but that was one of the main ones. But we're still on the lookout for other delivery services to make this process smoother. And the major aspect, the third C, is community. We want to build community development tools for restaurants. So all of the mom and pop shops, your Profeta and other coffee shops, they're not able to maintain good relationships with their regular customers. So how can we create communities and tools through which they can have special discounts or special coffee tasting events, or basically just get to know their loyal customers more so that they can also innovate and create personalized plans for these customers. So these are some of the restaurants that we are currently in conversations with. Um, Subways has agreed, La Panque Otidya, Matcha Village, Tiffin Mix, Chipotle, we're in further talks with them. So yeah, we're looking forward to launching this soon and seeing how things go from there. So to conclude, I think I did IRI for 2 quarters. I graduated a quarter early and has been a great experience for me. Apart from just the scholarship, the mentorship aspect was also great. So some of my advice would be set quantifiable and small goals so that there's always, you keep on, it's like a ladder, you keep on climbing it instead of setting up this one North Star and not knowing how to start. The second one is something I think I did was identify red flags in your initial project and pivot to a new one if needed. IRI is always there to support your personal ambitions to do research, not to not to stick to one particular project. So always keep that in mind. Third one is obviously do frequent meeting with your advisors. They're the real value additions of the program. It's not the money, not the community. It's the advisors because there's some amazing people with great experiences. And try to get involved with other IRI participants on their projects. And I think through that you get to learn so much more. Yes. Thank you so much, IRI. And please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or you want any advice on your projects. Thanks.
All right. Well, in lieu of taking questions, because neither Akshat nor Venki, his mentor, are here, I will say that this is something he's been working on for over a year. He actually just emailed me out of the blue last year, around this time last year, and wanted to talk about it, the FavorX idea. And so I encouraged him to apply, and he was able to get in. So again, just you see the passion that students have when they're doing what they want. Last